This is our eighth edition of Can You Remember? It's an informative live conversation with persons who contributed significantly to Anguilla's Carnival and Summer Festival. As we build up to our 50th anniversary, we will be conversing with many individuals and groups who have made a mark. I am Jared Dice and he is
Shaban Brooks.
Together we bring this bi-weekly conversation. This will change from bi-weekly to weekly from next week. This conversation is powered by Changes Restaurant and Bar at South Hill.
At South Valley.
At South Valley, my bad, South Valley. Today we're talking pageantry, and in our fine company we have who I describe as cultural bearers. I acknowledge them as movers and shakers of Anguilla's culture. We have in our midst a lady of endurance and determination, Miss Patra Brody and Mrs. Carl Woodley and Romeo Kelsick, who I determine as the godfathers of pageantry on Anguilla. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Can You Remember? You may introduce yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. This one here.
We start.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Patra Brody, and I am the founder and chair of the Miss Tiny Tot pageant.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Romeo Kelsick, and I'm the current chair of the Anguilla Talented Teen Committee.
Carl Woodley, Anguilla Talented Teen Committee.
Thank you for your introductions. We will begin with the lady. Patra, we commence with you. Your involvement in producing and coordinating the Tiny Tot show spanned how many years? And walk us through the whole journey.
Okay, the birth of Miss Tiny Tot pageant started actually in 2002 under a tamarind tree in East End, I should say Sandy Hill, supported by family members and friends in the village. From that setting and seeing what those kids had to offer that evening, we then decided to put together a pageant that is now called the Miss Tiny Tot pageant. So from 2003, we started with the official pageant that was held at the Carnival Village. That's 2003 until today's date. So 22 years later, I would say we did about 18 pageants. We had 1 year break, and 3 years we were closed due to COVID. And I must say that Tiny Tots has contributed a lot to contestants participating in the carnival shows, such as started out from the Prince and Princess show contestants, teenage contestants, and now we have Miss Anguilla. So I would say Miss Tiny Tot pageant is the birth of many who's now participating in pageantry on Anguilla.
What were some of the challenges that, obstacles that you had to face, hurdles you had to overcome during the production of such an event?
Along the way in the beginning, I think many of our groups on island, I would say one particular group, that was the Seraptimus Club. We received a letter back then that we should close on the pageant due to exposing children at a young age. We were a bit confused on what they said in the letter, but we did not hold it down. We move further, we take their criticism and we turn it into something very positive. And today, Miss Tiny Tot pageant is still on the move in a positive way.
Okay.
I would say that was mainly our, that was the only thing really.
We'll be coming back to you, Patra. So get your thoughts. Carl and Romy. I worked with Carl and Romy over the years in Carnival, and I say this honestly to my mind, and I'm sure many people agree with me across Anguilla and the diaspora, that these are truly dedicated and committed to the advancement of Carnival. Carl and Romy, you can take it whichever way you want, turn by turn. Tell us how you really get involved with Carnival and Talented Teen.
Go ahead.
But for me, it started
with my mom actually, Iselma Woodley. She was very much involved with pageantry troops, just about everything in Carnival since 1974, entertain in particular. And I think it's from her that started off. I don't even know how me and Romy we got together, but we've been now, how much? Almost 30 years.
29,
Tag
29.
team. Almost 30 years, and it's something that we continue to do every year. It's sometimes when persons see the final production on stage the night of the show, have no idea what it takes to bring those persons on stage. This year, we have 7 contestants. We haven't had 7 in a long time. We are up to 7. We have 7 contestants this year vying for the Miss Talented team. So we're looking forward to a very good show. But it has been a lot of years.
Okay.
A lot of years, and both of us are considered to be carnival babies. We started off running around. Me being over in the Valley Primary School with my mother, building costumes and stuff, and Romy with his mom. And we just got together.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Yeah.
that because I know that the Celtic family
Correct.
and the Woodley family was much integral in Carnival over the years. So Romy can tell us exactly how you got involved.
Yes, it's similar to Carl, yes, Dice, as you mentioned. Both of my parents would have been involved in Carnival from the early stages. I think my mom joined the Carnival committee, I think in 1975, I think thereabouts. And from a baby, she used to have me around in the village just like Carl. So I guess over time, it's just something that grew.
Kind of a baby man.
Yeah. So one of the things though, how I think Carl and I linked is that I initially started in 1995 through Interact doing the opening night. And I did that for 9 years consecutively. And it was that same time when Carl would have been the chairperson of the CCB. CCB had just joined now as a sponsor of the Talented Teen, and Carl would have asked me to, join the Talented Teen and assist, and then so that's how we linked up from there, and ever since we've been producing the pageant. But I'm sure you have other questions. But in addition to that, we have played just about every role in Carnival.
Yeah.
Did he say he was a prince?
I saw that we said
Yes, I was. I was actually the first prince crowned on the stage that was just demolished in 1985.
who was your partner?
Vetlin Richardson was my partner.
85.
Yeah.
These guys, I love these guys. Before the audience and the judges actually see the contestants on stage and all those smiling faces and stuff, there's a lot of work that goes on in the back, before they see it on their gowns, and you see, tell us how the preparation is back, like what the preparation for Talented Teen is about, what you have to go through in those tireless nights and days. I mean, Patrick, you're gonna have the same question coming as well.
Because before I don't
Go
want to
ahead.
interrupt you,
No,
but
go ahead.
before Tiny Tots, I was a member of the Miss Angola committee. So I took my experience from there, and that's where I ran and created Miss Tiny Tot pageant. So around 1995 is where I started working with the Carnival committee as well.
Okay.
Talented Teen, it started in terms of getting girls for August. It started with the Miss Valentine. We used to have a Miss Valentine
Yes.
show where we would have girls there, and most of the girls would go from the Miss Valentine tour. It's always difficult. Remember, all the girls are gonna come from the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, because we don't have any more high schools, only one high school. So we would have had to get everybody from there, and we had to make sure that we get them before they go off to study for CXC exams. Because if you go to find girls after that, you have no show. So that started, and then what we do as a committee, we don't just have a show.
Yeah.
We prepare the contestants,
Yes.
all the contestants for the show. So we have a lot of different. I mean, Romy
Yeah.
could go through.
Yeah, I would want to know exactly
Yeah.
what the
Yes,
process is.
like different
Um,
camps.
Yeah,
So
different
yes,
things.
so
So
for
that's
example, based on what Carl is saying, we would have different sessions for the contestants, ranging from etiquette sessions, modeling sessions, question and answer sessions, public speaking sessions. So we don't just have the contestants go and speak in public without grooming
Preparing
them,
them,
because
right.
one of the things we always let contestants know, remember, you're marketing yourself in addition to participating in the show. From the time you signed up, persons are looking at you. So we have to ensure that you are ready and fully prepared to entertain the audience, but also we try to teach you lessons that can take you through life, not just for the pageant,
So you are guided by a checklist then, that you have a checklist that you go through.
Correct.
so to speak.
I think
Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at, we all are getting down in age, let's say that. So
Yeah.
they take over at some point. Somebody will take this on at some point.
Definitely.
You know,
Because
so
we have
yes,
persons,
yes.
we
Yeah.
have persons
Good.
definitely
Yeah.
who we bring on board, because it's talented teen is a family.
Okay.
And that is something that we push. That
Yeah.
every show that we have, we
And
let them
seen
know that they're
as-
family and they come back.
Yeah.
And one of the things we have as a trademark in terms of the show now, the night of the show, we are known to start the show
And
On
time.
time.
with
On
nobody
time.
Yeah.
in the village. We
Yes.
have done that.
One
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
You see
We
that?
have done
You see
that.
that we could have answered the same question on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for sure, I know
That's
that
a
show
trademark.
start on time. Whether
Hey, give it to
because
Tiny Tots too, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we make sure-
Okay.
So
we make
what is
sure-
what's the Patrick, what's the process for you? Show your preparation. What's it like?
Basically, it's a similar way setup, just as they explain. Pageantry is set up basically the same way. But with the younger kids, we tend to work more with mothers, fathers, uncles, and the aunties. But all these children are assigned a chaperone, as same as other pageants.
Okay.
So basically, it's the same structure. It's structured the same way. Yes.
And just to add one of the things here, Dice, we have worked closer with Patra too, with
Yes,
the Tiny Tots,
yes,
up
yes,
to this
from
day too.
judging
Yeah,
to-
yeah.
they've both been
So we
judging
all
everything.
work together.
Yes,
Yeah, we all
yes.
work together.
We communicate very well. We
Yeah,
communicate
it's really
very
nice.
well.
Mhm.
Yes. I think we can build something together.
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
it's good, it's see, because I mean, like, for all these years knowing the names behind these shows that are being
Yes.
successful, we have to applaud
Because,
you
know,
guys.
For us, we know that it's from the Miss Tiny Tot.
Yeah.
It comes Prince and Princess, follows a pattern, talented teen, and hopefully
Queens.
Right.
they
Yeah.
have the queen.
No, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
queens.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's it. You
Yeah.
see, we got
Yeah.
Queens
And then
now.
after Miss
Because,
Anguilla is another
Miss Ray-
stage, I'm sure.
Miss
Yes,
Ray was-
she
Miss
was
Anguilla-
Miss Tiny
Anguilla-
Tot.
Miss
Yeah.
Anguilla presently would have two pageants, one in Antigua, that's the JC's, Miss JC's International, and then they will have the Caribbean Culture pageant in Nevis. So they are both coming up.
The
Yeah.
culture pattern
It's in
before
August. Yeah,
Before Canada?
it's like right in the middle. It's like
Dang, no, rough on the
yeah, because there probably would be a show or two that the reigning Miss Anguilla would not be there.
Miss.
Yeah.
She was not- yeah, yeah.
But you can use the one from last year. Would it be? They want somebody for the current year?
But she won't miss the show.
No.
She'll just miss a show
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
program. But
Okay.
I think it's the one now. I think the JCs is on the night of the same night as the swimsuit, because there's a separate swimsuit
Yes.
competition
Yes.
This year?
Yes.
this year. So
That's
that's
great.
not going to be in the village. I
we
think.
used to have that years before though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad that it gone back to that.
Correct. I think it's a correct.
You all could remember. I'm sure you all recall Miss Ecstasy.
Yes.
Yeah. yes,
Were you involved
yes.
in any of that?
Not from the organizing standpoint, but I've done tabulations for it, and I've worked with a contestant who have participated in it. But I do remember the show very, very well.
think a lot of us,
Yes,
yes.
yeah, the Miss Ecstasy pageant. That was another a good pageant that we had here in Anguilla.
You think we should revive it? What do you think? What do you
Yeah.
think? So it's too
Quite
much
Anguilla won quite a lot.
Yeah.
Won that pageant quite a lot. I can't remember
It's well supported
years
too.
now, right now. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means we should get thing here.
I know that, well, I would remember Tanya because I worked with Tanya. Tanya won it,
my
yeah.
niece Amber won.
Yeah.
won Chase.
But it was a very good
SCCA.
pageant, and I
It
think,
was.
Dice, it's just something that could come back because if, as you would recall, Dice, back in the day, we had a lot of pageants in
A lot of
Anguilla.
pageants,
A
yes.
lot of pageants.
A lot.
Yeah. A lot. So there was always something for the Miss Anguilla, for example, to participate.
Right.
It was a really
Into
nice
itself.
pageant though.
Yeah.
It was a really nice pageant.
Mm-hmm.
And the turnover hours is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to speak to those people, those folks, at some point as
Who
well?
was,
Yeah. I think
Sheila?
Susie, and her
Webster.
sisters, Susie Webster and her sisters.
What's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
Sheila was?
Miss
Sheila
Ecstasy.
would have been the swimsuit.
Miss Venus.
Miss Venus.
Oh,
You see,
Venus.
another one again.
Yeah.
One.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were all good shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You
Yes.
know, it's hard to keep up at times because sponsorship is really the main
Yeah.
problem.
Carl and
Oh,
Romy.
it's-
Yeah.
We recall that CCB was one of the major sponsors over the years from
years.
Farmer CCB.
Yeah.
For years was the big sponsor. We know the demise of the banks, and
Yeah.
how many years did that relationship last really? And
From CCB, the relationship was from 1995 to 2012.
Yeah, he not like he head.
Yeah,
And
but
the first Miss under for CCB,
Yeah.
the first Miss Talented Team would have been Rolanda.
Not Rolanda, Rebecca Webster, Queen Bee.
Queen B.
Hmm.
Can you remember, huh?
Yeah.
This is what the show called that. A lot of information y'all giving out that people ain't.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate y'all coming today and spending time and giving out this information.
thank you for the invite as well.
Yeah.
And looking back over the years, which show? I mean, this one I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Oh
Which
my
show you
God.
think you recall was one of the better years that brought the most people to the village, and you had self satisfaction?
Joy.
Okay, we would have had several shows. Eh?
Yeah.
We would have had the Prince,
Yeah.
the Valentine.
Yeah.
We also did two regional shows.
Yeah.
We had the
Miss
Leeward
Caribbean
Island
talented team.
here, and we also had the
Miss
Miss
Caribbean
Caribbean
talented team.
talented team. So we
Yeah.
had 3 pageants.
Yeah.
Right.
In terms of the talented
I
team,
can't say.
boy,
Everybody
I
want to
know.
say
boy,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Those
There.
are
That's a
the
good
I can't
question.
remember the which winner that like people. Every time you have a show, if somebody gonna say the I don't think you ever had trouble with the judges with talented teen. I never
Not
heard
really.
after
Not really.
of action.
Yeah.
People
Well,
always.
Well, there was one year.
I remember
Yeah.
before Romy,
The half point. Go ahead.
Romy,
Oh
you
my
can
God.
begin with that, but I want to remember. I could remember a show.
Yeah.
The village was the stage this way, you know.
Mhm.
And I remember a contestant. I won't call the contestant's name because
Yeah.
the contestant lives close by. we were
Was
not
memorable.
told. We were not told that the contestant was supposed to jump off the stage and somebody was supposed to catch up.
Oh my
They
God.
didn't. They did not. We weren't told.
Yeah.
And this is something that we do. We go over each one,
Yeah.
and that contestant ran from center stage and dove straight
Yeah.
over.
I remember what that person be though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember what that person be. That person got the same last name as me.
Yeah.
I remember that though.
That one was a
Oy.
shocker for
A
me.
shocker.
Yeah.
I remember
Doggy never supposed to
also.
catch up.
I know who.
Doggy Pooh was supposed to catch up.
Oh
I
God.
remember also when we were having whether it was the Leeward Island or the Caribbean talented team, we had a situation where the show was rained out, and
Yeah.
we had to have the show because now all the girls would be going back on the app
Yeah. The
the
Sunday.
Sunday, so we had to have the show before.
The midday.
I think I was in the hospital from the Saturday.
Pressure high.
Pressure
Yeah.
high.
Oh my God.
That was one
It
of
takes
my.
a toll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
It's
a
a lot
moment
you
I don't want to
encounter.
relive.
Why you
Yeah,
Yes.
because I don't
Why
remember the year, but what
Obviously.
happened? Yeah, I was we started the show and the show was going, but the show got rained out. We had rain. It was real heavy rain, so we couldn't continue the show.
I think all of us experienced that.
And the pressure because now the person had to go back the next day. So
Yeah, this is
so
us.
I'm there, and then Carl ended up in the
Yeah.
You know,
hospital.
we like get
It
lucky.
was-
We have it on Carnival in August because that's the peak of hurricane season.
Yes,
Yes.
We
yes,
like get lucky that we really don't have much.
yes. On that
Yeah.
carnival week.
You
We
have
like
a
get
point.
really lucky.
Yeah, and then guys, we had a situation where we had a show where the difference between the first runner-up and the second runner-up was half a point.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
And the interesting thing about that show is both of them lost 5 points each for going overtime in different segments.
Wow, wow.
Sad. Sad.
For go
So the difference was a half a point.
wow, I have a point.
Half a point. So I remember that was one of them.
This was told before?
Yes, I
mean-
think people knew. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad to hear this.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Half a point.
A lot of things happen.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
half a point.
I don't like the judging
Have a
part
point is a
at
problem.
all. Oh my
But
God.
I tell them,
Yeah.
we don't judge.
We don't,
Yeah.
but we
We
get
produce
blamed.
the show.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick, while we on that segment of it in terms of your most memorable show, things that stood out in one of
Well,
the shows.
as Carl and them explained about that rained out show, we had one and we did not know what to do. I mean, after all the preparation and everything, and persons are inside the village, what to do next? We had to cancel the show. It was a lot of rain. Then we had to reschedule. It was very mind blowing. And what next to do, because we had already started into the pageant. Judges were there, and So what we did, we chose another day, and we just had everyone recap, and persons who had handbands and everything, we just had them.
You didn't have to
Come
change
back.
judges.
No, we did not change judges.
Okay.
So we just had to schedule later down.
And how
It
was
did
the
work
time?
well.
The time
And-
between scheduling?
About a week.
A week?
Yeah. And I think we end up getting more people out then. Mhm.
Everything happens for good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we went, just adding to what we said earlier, because you said CCB. We also was sponsored by Scotia Bank. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
would have had, Scotia would have been that.
We didn't have a
carnival,
show. Yeah, we didn't have a show in 2013. So we then had Scotia. Scotia came on board from 2014 to 2018.
What's her name? Kind of.
Samelia, yeah, and Samelia Khanna would have been the first Miss Scotia Bank talented team.
Yeah, I remember
And
when
I
Scotia
think-
came on board.
Yeah, and
And
I,
let-
and you
let
know what's
me say
interesting
this.
about? Go ahead,
You
Patrick.
hold
I'll
right
go
there.
back. Yes.
That name, Samelia, the birth of her pageantry started with Miss Tiny Tot.
Yeah.
So you see where we're going?
Yeah.
Okay.
And and the interesting thing about the Scotia Bank sponsorship, I remember it was my partner Dice here. He had a meeting with Scotia on another matter. And when he came out of that meeting, he called me on the phone, "Hey Romy, I just come out of a meeting with Scotia. Listen, call him quick, put a proposal together, set up a meeting." Yeah. Set up a meeting.
Chairman?
I
And
was
guys,
remember that,
yeah, and then I did exactly what he told me, and then Carl and I went to the Scotia to a meeting with
Yeah,
Miss
Mofat.
Hubbard Daniels at the time,
Yeah.
who was a manager, and she liked the proposal,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
right away she took up the opportunity, and
One
Scotia
time.
Bank,
Yes.
they were with us, yeah,
I didn't want to see that show without a sponsor. You need somebody credible.
yeah,
And after having CCB, a bank too.
yeah.
You want to see that continuity and stuff.
Yeah.
Pamela, she was a nice lady, a nice friend of mine, and I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I can't leave Carl and Romy down at all.
Yeah.
You got to do this with them."
Speaking about memorable shows, though, we had 2 years where we had males in the show.
Yeah.
So we had a Mr. and Miss
Yeah.
Talented Teen. Would have been what, 2007, I think, and 2004.
2007, I think 2000, maybe 14. Yeah, I think it may have been
The
14.
first
I'm
one
trying
would
to
have been
remember.
Miguel Franklin.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we had Mikhail.
Mikael, yeah.
Mikhail.
Other was working with guys other than working females over the years.
Pretty much, they
Yeah.
came with their own energy and very talented and wanting to
Right, right.
And believe it or not, the second year we had the males, and two things actually. The audience was supporting the males more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And then over the overall winner, even scoring more than the females, was a male in one of the Mr. and Miss Talented Teen
How we
pageants.
could get that show revamped and start again? What do you think about that?
Well, I can tell you what they told me this year.
Yeah.
They said, Woodley, if you had tell us earlier that there's a full scholarship, we were going with it.
Yeah.
You know, but at the time, you just want to make sure that you have
Yeah.
enough girls.
But being it was a success, maybe you
Right.
should have really something you could have really
So
considered.
found that
Yeah,
boys, more boys tend to have gone to the junior calypso rather than to going to
Yeah.
to shows, yeah. But if they're gonna come with, if we're gonna get a lot more of going off to study and stuff
Yeah,
like that, I think
Yeah.
you're gonna get a lot more contestants, male and female.
Because I think interesting that you would ask that two guys, because I think it was Antigua, one of them, I think that has a Mr. and Miss
Correct.
Talented Teen pageant.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
Didn't know that.
For
All
years.
the
Yeah,
states,
yeah.
Wow.
Big, still big.
Yeah.
For
Something
years.
to still
Yes,
look into,
yeah.
Carl.
So if we looking at Caribbean
Yeah.
integration and we looking at a lot of things in common, we probably need to do what others are doing.
Because that was
They
one of
follow
the
us.
reasons to why we didn't really, because we wanted to find something that the Mister, once he would have won here,
Yeah.
can go on to something else in the region.
Right.
We
Right.
didn't really have too much.
Exactly.
Antigua, like what we said,
Yeah.
had that show, but
Yeah.
not much. Not much. Yeah.
Could you give a brief outline of the criteria for the Talented Teen show? A brief idea.
In the car.
I
You
don't
can-
remember
you can-
all
you can
the
have
one,
a
but
card, you can have
what
it. Just
I
know
can tell
exactly.
you the segments.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
just
You
can-
can't
you
tell
can
you
look
the,
at
Go for the
uh,
segments
the
because I don't
criteria
have my
off the top of
documents.
head.
So I don't.
Right, but the
Come
segments,
here, come
we
prepared.
have 5 segments,
People want to know.
but four of
Segments.
the segments are judged. So we would have a fanfare, that's not judged. And then we'd have a personal aspiration speech, that's the first judge segment. We have the talent, we have the evening wear presentation, and that is something we like to stress to our audience. It's evening wear presentation, not the best dress.
Yes.
It's the whole
The whole
package, the
package.
whole package, the presentation.
hair,
Exactly.
everything.
Because oftentimes you hear person say, but how she win that? She didn't have the best dress. But it's not the
Exactly.
best dress.
Presentation.
It's the best evening wear presentation. And then we have the on-stage interview.
I'm sure.
You know?
I'm sure viewers and gain a lot from all this because
Yeah.
I never know this myself.
amazed,
You know,
yeah.
I'm
One of us.
amazed. I'm
Yeah.
amazed.
One of us.
Yeah.
This is what the show called.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yes. And
Yeah.
this is what
And then-
pageantry is all about.
And it's amazing, Romy, that you got a lot of things in your head.
Just
I
like
mean,
Yeah.
everything in your head.
Like
really. But I'm taking some notes because in future somebody will get all of this really because like I
Yes.
say, we got to pass all of this. What's your criteria for your
Okay, we basically have this show set up for, well, we started out with like
Okay, I
5
got it.
appearances.
Piece of it.
Introductory speech. We had kids beach wear. We had there was a segment called "What You Want to Be When You Grow Up and Why." So it was a professional wear segment, whatever their profession is. Then we have question and answer, and we had princess evening wear. We broke down the segments to 4 segments now. So we are going with introductory speech. We have creative cultural wear that replaced the kids beach wear. And then we have talents and princess evening wear.
You see that one you mentioned there about what you want to be when you grow up? I think that's an excellent question to ask at that
Well,
early
this is a
age.
question that we carried through for years. And if they wanted to be a teacher, what they did, they acted out on stage. That's what they produced on stage.
Because I'm sure that many of us during high school was the time when we was to ask that question. In my days going to school, I was asked that question when I was ready
I
to
think
leave.
everyone.
When,
And then that'd be a career there, right? That kind of career there, something like that.
No, nowadays.
Yes.
but was
yes.
asking me that question when I was ready to leave school. When the basically we want to be the subject you did not probably do.
Right,
You know.
right.
So it's a question at all age to know exactly because now you can look around and see exactly people you want to emulate and stuff like that. Professions you want to get in.
Yes.
You know, it's an interesting question to ask
So
young people.
most of these kids, if they said they wanted to be a vet, then they produce that image on stage, and they'll say why they want to be a vet. It was very good.
I
And
like that.
similarly to
I like
Patra,
that.
what Patra's saying there, Dice, we do that in Talented Teen too. Because for your personal aspirations segment, whatever you want to be, now most of the time the contestants will come out and portray that, so it comes out in their
Right,
intro speech
right.
as well.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick, what
And
age you have to be in the
Yes, we actually started out between 6 to 8, but then we realized that the 8-year-old really had an advantage over the 6-year-old. So now we went up a notch and we did 7 to 9. 7 to 9 years old. And one thing I also wanted to mention before, what I wanted to mention before Dice in regards to the talent, we asked parents to use the children's strength. Because of their age, if you could play an instrument, you get the child to play the instrument. You don't push them to do something that they,
Right,
you know.
right.
If they can dance, you put them to dance. They can act, you put them to act. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into one contestant.
Carl, you got your stuff right, so you can go to them now a little
I
bit.
can't find, but I heard Romy
Oh
going
my
through
God.
everything. So
Romeo going through a bit. He went
He
through
did well. He
4
did well.
segments, 5 segments.
yeah, he did well. It's just
much
I don't
did
have
you put for
everything,
Miss
so I
Tiny
prefer
Tot?
not
So you
to.
thought you had about
Go through
1,
the
2,
numbers,
3,
but
4, 5,
Yeah.
6.
Which we kind of switch up.
Yeah.
So we're doing 5 at first and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
two at
yeah,
four.
Yes.
yeah.
But I think, off the top of my head, hopefully I don't get it wrong, I think the personal aspiration is 60 points. The talent segment is 100 points. The
Interview.
not the interview, the after talent is which one? Evening wear
60
is 60 points, and the interview is 70 points.
And the total of what?
The
So-
fanfare, the fanfare.
No, the fanfare has no points
No
because that's a
points.
non-judge
Non-judge.
segment. That is
Okay.
just the
Right.
segment where all the contestants and the reigning would come out and display themselves in the beginning, just to warm up
Right.
themselves on the stage in a
Just
little
before.
opening number. It's part of an opening
So
number.
290? I'm missing something.
No, not so much.
In total, it could be. It might be. It's somewhere around that.
Why
Yeah.
290? Why
In
not
total,
300?
in total, I think in
some-
total
well,
it's about 300.
Well, you see,
But
you
no,
usually
this-
have 3 judges for each segment, so the person would end up with,
Offset.
a higher number. But that's just the total when you add up the entire. And one of the things you would notice is that evening wear does not carry a high number of points in relation to other segments. The 2 highest judge segments are talent and interview.
Same as Tiny Tots.
Yeah.
How do y'all go by getting judges to judge the show?
That's Romy.
For me,
I produce the show.
That's a good
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Good
Well,
question. Go ahead.
for me it is quite easy. I kind of reach out to the judge and I use their strengths. If I know, for instance, you're into creating costumes and so forth, then I will put you to judge the creative cultural wear area, introductory, a teacher who does, speech or anything like that. But it must be a qualified person. You can't just take up any and everybody to go and judge. And we also give them a copy of the criteria to go through, and once they're comfortable with it, then we confirm the judges per segment.
But you vet them in terms of family ties, or
All that you have to look into because we would be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Once
And
you're not related,
the same thing goes to
yes.
Carlem. Is it the
Same thing.
And
Same
it's a similar thing to what Patrick just described.
Yes.
And funny you should ask that, Dice, because in Talented Teen, we have been known, and we find out of. I know there was one situation where we removed the judge because we can't somehow. I think a contestant would have found out who one of the
related
judges
to
were.
somebody.
I remember a couple of years ago, and it was something between them. So when we found out that the contestant was uncomfortable because they found out who one of the judges,
Yeah.
we removed the judge.
Yes.
So
And
they
he
know the
replaced, yeah.
judges prior.
No, they don't.
No,
but this
not
was just a
really.
situation where somehow
They would
this
have
got
seen the
out.
person.
Leak.
Yeah, a leak, so to speak, at the JMAP.
Somebody was talking to you, I talking to me.
But it's always
Yeah.
good to communicate
Yeah.
with the judges before to.
Yeah.
You're not judging the talented team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
Something
do
has
that,
to be-
and we do when we reach out, as Patros said, we reach out based on the persons being qualified to the particular segment.
Right.
Because you also have persons Angola who are well rounded. We reach out.
Yes.
One of the questions we ask if they are related, if you are
Yes.
affiliated, you head the contest, and so we do that sort of vetting
Yes.
that because you want to have as much transparency as possible
Right.
when you involved in these pageants.
But what are some of the activities that the contestants are involved in before the actual show, like in terms of
Prepping.
the prepping and things, other things that they be doing that people can see that these are the contestants and stuff are the tenants.
Well-
What things you and then
I could definitely say that
We can just take a pause and come
Okay.
back in a few
for a
seconds.
minute. Okay.
When we wrapping up, I need to.
I should have come fully loaded here, man. Oh my God. I was supposed to come fully loaded.
some of the questions.
No, but I mean, at least to give a lot more.
Can you come over a bit?
God, you can't put me to go move over for the stool.
Alright, well, switch.
Switch? No.
Come over a bit.
Switch. Let me talk.
Okay. Yeah, but then you can push you over.
No, I got. Come a little
As long as you
closer.
got me, yeah.
I'm not gonna meet you too.
So we good?
This show is Can You Remember? It's powered by Changes Bar and Restaurant at South Valley. I got it right this time.
Not so too.
Not
South
South
Valley.
I don't know, South was maybe on my mind.
Fine.
Carl is from South, so
That's
maybe.
why I said why, before we wrap. Well, when we wrapping up, I have to do a little shout out to the troop that I'm involved with.
No
No,
problem,
no,
man.
yeah.
Do all of that.
There's a chance.
That's why you hear me
Even,
say that.
even somebody you're managing,
Yeah,
whatever you're doing,
There'll
you
be
can
a
do
chance
that.
for you to do some stuff with it.
And that's what we need to. We need
Yeah,
to,
afford you a chance to do
talk
some
about the
stuff.
present
Okay,
too.
alright,
We just talk about
alright.
the past.
All right.
We need to talk about the present.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was asking, like, what are some of the activities that the talented teen and Tenitats are involved in prior to the show, and like where they can be seen, and things that you're working on. And the other
Right.
thing is, what input do the contestants have in the overall show?
For us, the Mr. and Top pageant contestants, what we try to do is bring the children together. We
How
hold
often?
them in an environment as much as we can. So what we do, we put them on tours. Some of the tours were like going to Arua. They've had a day that they spend down there. They play golf and they eat lunch and so forth. Then we would have places like the
You kind of
choir.
let them bond
Yes.
together and stuff like that.
Without parents, without chaperones, and it's just committee members and the children, and they become a pack. So for us, it's like one family at the end of the day because they get very close.
So the same question for Carl and Romy, because bonding, I think, is very important.
Yes.
But you
Yes.
can,
I would have never known that's all the thing that come up.
Oh yeah.
I never thought.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of preparation.
Quite a few sessions for the contestants, grooming, etiquette, in terms of public speaking, things like that. They would have done already the photo shoot, and we're gonna be doing we have already added to the photo shoot a video of each of the contestants. So you see that shortly through the Carnival Committee page. But we try to work with the contestant so that the contestant, when they go on stage, everybody is ready, stage ready. Because remember now that that image also falls on us in terms of we
Preparing.
can't
Yes.
in terms of having a contestant on the stage not ready and
Right.
having a committee who is
Right.
so dedicated to the show that we got to make sure that the girls So we work a lot.
Yeah.
I know you guys work, but something came to mind, because we live in a world now where a lot of things can be done virtual. And you
Yes.
ever thought about like say even having a virtual session and you have 2 or 3 mock judges just to see how they're going to help them because they want to get a feel. I mean, they can mark them harder than our local people to scrutinize them. So you could have them basically advance a little better. I mean, anyway, your thoughts on that?
Something that we could think of.
Yeah.
I don't think we have ever done.
That's
We
something
never
we get
did
a
it,
complacent
yeah.
with our own, but if you have to do exam in front of overseas people,
Correct.
I'm sure it could be a
Yes,
different
yes,
setting and
yes.
stuff
Question
like
again
that.
on judges again. All the judges is local for the shows. They
For us, we have tend to mix up a few of our judges with St. Martin.
Okay.
We've had judges came to Anguilla.
and for you,
Yeah, our judges mostly are local, but we do have persons who live in Anguilla, but they are not originally born in Anguilla who come here. So we
Right.
mix it up. And while we were speaking about the photo shoot that we just completed, I would just like to shout out and thank Maljohana Hotel. Because they are celebrating 40 years this year, and it's
Maljohana Hotel.
Maljohana, sorry.
Yeah, Maljohana.
And
Maljohana,
you just on the verge of
sorry.
40.
And we are just, yeah,
On the verge of
and we
40.
just on the verge of 50. So,
No, but you say the show is almost 40 years. Tell the
um,
same. You are producing.
well, we
39
producing
years,
is, no, 29 for us
29
producing, but the
years.
show's been around,
Okay.
Over
show,
40.
a while. So, so with that milestone for Maljohana, it was also fitting, and with our theme this year for the pageant being a cultural journey, Maljohana being the first hotel in Anguilla, in addition to Maljohana being the Arawak name for Anguilla, we just thought it was fitting, a nice tie. So, and Maljohana was real hospitable to the contestants, and they, in addition to the photo shooting, doing the promo video,
Very
they
nice.
provided refreshments for the contestants,
Very
and the
nice.
contestants were very, very happy. So
Like
we want to
that.
just thank Maljohana here publicly for being a good corporate citizen.
Good. What's your team for this year?
Our
want- you
team
want to
goes
say?
back. Let me see. Put me on a spot here now. It goes past to present. Miss Tiny Tot pageant contestants. I'm trying to get a team back in my head.
When they come to head, we'll get it. We'll get it. As we move on,
Our team, cut me off.
you
We
can
have a
get.
cultural journey.
Yeah, I have.
We
Yeah.
actually
cultural
have a full
Yeah.
slogan going on here because we gone back from 2003 up until 2023. So we are bringing back our old contestants from 2003. So you know that we're not dealing with children this year. It's a whole different setting for us this year because we were invited to join in with the Anguilla Summer Festival to help celebrate 50 years of Carnival. Given that, we went back to come to the present. So it's a whole different setting. And this year,
I'm going to give you a chance with that to promote your show.
okay.
And both talented team, that can be the last part. The
Okay,
last
so,
so we're gonna get to
That's a
some of
good
these.
idea.
We're gonna give you a chance
Okay.
to
To
promote your
explain
show.
it.
Carl, Romy, at any point you all feel like giving up?
a lot of times.
No, I mean it's just.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I've been very much involved in the last maybe 5 or 6 years with the Prince and Princess show, and it has taken so much out of me in terms of draining that sometimes by talented teen get a little
Yeah.
stick, But
Yeah.
I decided, look, I readjusted and made sure that I backed 100% with talented teen, but I do a lot of different things for
Okay, now. Since you touched on base with working with the Prince and Princess, how the Prince and Princess show is going this year?
I'm not. Well,
Yeah.
how should I say this?
We have one.
Well, he's
Yeah, they have seven. they
Yes,
have
yes,
six-
7 schools.
All the schools.
Yes.
All the schools in town,
Yeah.
including the
Omalulu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Primary school. Is it primary school or what they
Yeah,
call it?
Kazawudi.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Um,
Yeah.
International.
Also,
It's a
everybody
private
is there.
school, but
Private school,
international.
yeah.
Everybody is there.
So what's your wish? Your wish for
I
that
have
show?
worked for years with the Adrian T. Hayes primary, being successful. This year, I'm not working with that particular group, but I wish them all the best. Still, I live in the community and I give back. So, I forgot your question.
I forget myself.
Yeah.
But
This year, the show, right? It's going to be competitive.
no, that was my
Yeah.
question. My question is, what's your wish
Oh.
for that show for the future?
The show, they
Yeah.
are primary.
How would you like it?
The Prince and Princess show is pretty. I see it as similar to
Tiny
the
Tots.
Tiny Tot. I mean, the Tiny Tot, those are divas. You understand? Those are not ordinary. Those are girls who want to be on the stage. Yeah? And at that little age, yeah? And I see that the Prince and Princess is pretty much the same.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
We see her room. We cut out though,
correct.
and that he came out from that show.
Correct.
Basically, you could see them going into future pageants,
Yes.
whether it's here or wherever.
Hoping that each committee going up
Yes.
works with. We work very close with the Tiny Tot and Prince and Princess. So more than likely, one of those two are gonna become Miss Talented Teen. And we're
Right.
hoping that the Queen. I don't think it has worked too much for the Queens as yet, but
For some
it would be
reason,
nice to
yes.
see contestants who have maybe have never won.
I think
one.
when the show was you, she went into Miss
Yeah.
Singular too.
Yeah, she did.
No, don't get me wrong.
Some have
They-
known,
they
but he's just
few of
saying
them, but
not on a
consistent,
consistent
correct.
basis. Yeah.
Correct.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I always believe that that when it comes to calypso and pageantry, right? Shout out overall committee, just so we talk about from the Tiny Tots, Prince and Princess, Talented Teen, all the way up. One committee dealing with all of that. Same thing with calypso, the junior calypso, the senior calypso, or the female calypso show, and the Rhode show. That I always think one body dealing with all of that, because the criteria for calypso, for instance, doesn't change. It's basically the same criteria. And the pageantry might change a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with that. But one committee doing that really. I mean, and who best to do the three of you? The other questions I'm gonna ask.
Touch up by something just now. Touch up by something just now. Let's get out of spot.
Sorry.
The other questions I'm gonna ask
Get out of spot.
is gonna be a little a little different. Sometimes we have to get a little not controversial, but
So before you go into the controversy, let me just
Yes.
put in a little stick there for my troop out of South Hill,
Yeah.
the Sanasa troop.
Yeah.
And Sanasa, if those of you remember, it was a very, very old troop. They would have been back in the 90s.
70,
Maybe not 70s, but
Yeah.
in the 90s.
90s, I
Yeah,
remember
90s,
that.
yeah.
Mussingtons, they used to play a lot with
Yeah.
Mussingtons. That troop is back just for the 50. So if you're looking, they're putting a little plug for them. If you're looking for a troop, and like I had a little, not argument, but a little discussion on the part before coming here, and I was saying it like this, marketing it this way. If you want to be in a troop that you have on clothes, you could put yourself.
We're looking at feathers this year.
Feathers, we are going tradition. We are actually having a happy birthday type troop. So you
Uh-huh.
could imagine you're dressed,
Yes.
and you're having a good time, and you have your drinks and your all the decorations and everything, and it's only $100. $100, so
Am I-
you have an option.
Am I given a chance to give our slogan?
Yeah, do you have a chance? Do
You
you have a
have the
chance?
same? Yeah, you can do it, but
Well, I just want everyone to know that our slogan this year is Festive Thoughts, Past and Present, celebrating Anguilla Carnival at 50 with culture and beauty. The show speaks for itself in the slogan, because we have Tiny Tots coming back from 2003 up until 2023, and we are in celebration mode. We are celebrating Anguilla Summer Festival, Anguilla Carnival at 50. So this is what we're doing, and this is our contribution back to celebrating.
Quickly,
And we
quickly.
do have, not before we cut off here, we do have 15 contestants plus the reigning. each one of those contestants they were given the opportunity to do 2 segments. The introductory speech is required, and the second appearance we gave them a choice to choose from the 3 regular segments, and that's how we have combined the show, given the amount of contestants. But it's a full show.
Okay.
So we are celebrating. We're not judging, we're celebrating.
All right.
Okay?
On behalf also of the committee, the talented team committee, and I'm sure you've seen on the talented team page where we have been paying tribute to past winners.
Yes.
So quite a few persons had shocked a lot of people because you didn't know that those were
Yes.
actually Miss Talented Teen winners.
Right.
But to those who send the videos, we want to say thank you. And thanks for being part of the
Yeah, because on
Talented
Facebook,
Teen family.
on Facebook, I see a load of videos of different pairs.
Correct.
You know, I really like that idea, and that was really good.
So again, we are bringing the past
That's
back.
correct. That's correct.
See? So Tiny Tots did it. You guys did it.
Okay, Dice, you can knock us down.
No, they're not really controversial. I use that manner to really create a vibe, you know. You know, but are you satisfied with that allocated funds for this year? I mean, just yes or no.
What's the exact? I don't know the exact.
Budget
Yeah.
for Carnival.
I don't know either. I mean, in terms
That's
of
the
you,
next thing. That's nobody know that. What's budget
you
for Carnival?
feel comfortable with the money funds allocated for you, because I know for being a past chairman of a past subcommittee chair,
And she must.
sometimes it was always want more. So I don't know how you all feel with the allocated funds.
Well, for me, outside of the box, much persons may not know, but Miss Tiny Tot pageant is actually a private pageant. But we associate ourselves with Summer Festival, the Carnival. For us, it's very hard with funds. I mean, no matter, even if we're on the down low, because I am the founder and chair, I have to inject in order to make
Because
things
sometimes
happen.
when you get the funds,
You know.
you have to scale back, and then somebody gets shot.
You go,
I mean,
well.
that's why I'm asking those things, because this year we should be really going out and make sure that everybody gets what they need.
Yeah, anyway, but-
Well, I just wanted to
answer
pull
it.
myself
Yeah.
away from that, so that, you know.
I think I can answer it this way. I don't know the exact amount. I know it went up
This year.
this year. I can say also that you never have enough
Right.
money,
I was
because
about to
Carnival
say.
doesn't really make a profit. Who profits is the persons, the
Yeah.
car rental people,
Yes,
the hotels,
yes.
the restaurants and stuff like
It's a
that.
lot.
Winners on the road.
What I like is I see this year the effort to get sponsorship for prizes. I
Yes.
would want to see more sponsorship for shows.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I stand corrected, but I know that yesterday the NCBA sponsored the show, so it's the NCBA Miss Anguilla.
Yeah.
I think Soca Monarch is Flo, but I haven't heard anybody else. But because there's a difference between sponsorship of a prize
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
sponsorship of a
Sure,
show.
right.
I
yes.
guess tomorrow
Yeah.
when they launch Carnival, they will speak up a little more about certain things that me don't know
Yeah.
about yet. We all will learn.
Right.
We all will learn together.
Because
But,
you'd find, like, say for Soca Monarch now, I'm just looking at it this way because how people would think. If you're given $100 as a sponsor, and the contestants here 100, everybody excited,
Right.
and then to find out that that is not for the prizes.
Correct.
So what you just said,
Yeah.
So then you got that kind of vibe, down spirited. Mark now Summer Festival in our culture. How would you like to see it done, Carl? I mean, what rules
Yeah, that's what
not
Carl-
trodden,
that's what Carl-
that we need to pursue really, because I know we are trying, but how you would like to see it doing? Because over the years I've known that Carnival has been under the umbrella of youth and culture.
I might get stick for this, but I like to tell the truth.
You have to tell the truth. Yeah.
I kind of got disappointed in an article that I read. The article did not mention the core shows. And when I speak of the core shows, I'm talking about Patra's show, which is the Tiny Tot, Prince and Princess, and Talented Teen were not mentioned. And we are talking about, you asked me about marketing. But then in the same article, there are shows that are privately owned that are highlighted in that article. I had a problem with that.
You said that too.
I have a problem with that.
Salama.
Yeah, you said that.
I have a problem with that.
Have you see?
Yeah.
How you like see
And I
marketing
don't
done in
think I'm
terms
gonna
of
say any
carnival?
more on that, but I have a problem with that.
Me too. We thought the shit the same.
Guys, I got a lot of answers, but I
Okay.
prefer that Romy, you go to Romy.
No, it's just like in terms of like marketing. I mean, I
But
personally
I-
think that the tourist board should be doing a lot
Yes,
more.
a lot
in
more.
terms
I
of-
mean,
In
That
terms
is,
of
you know,
that, in
getting
terms
out.
of, that's a different.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
you
the
need to
tourist
get
From
out.
that angle, board,
Correct.
angle I was trying to.
I think the
yeah.
tourist board could have taken a stronger thing in that.
It is
Like I
very
said, I
quiet
don't know
on
all the
the end.
logistics. That's not me.
Oh, sorry.
DYC
Okay.
needs a lot of work. And I say that openly here, that DYC needs a lot of work. I expect it, and this is only me, in terms of the marketing, I expected to see the schools involved in the 50,
Yes.
and I expected
Past
much
queens.
more of these conversations that are happening here. We have left out a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot.
A lot of people. We have in some instances we have recreated or rewritten, and you and I
The story,
spoke- You
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
we have rewritten the history.
Yeah, we
book,
spoke of that. We spoke of
and
that.
I'm not pleased.
Yeah.
I am not going to sit and think. We have a situation. Let's just leave it right there.
I saw
You wanna
I saw a
keep quiet,
promotion
so-
that Nevis did, which was very pleasing to me in terms of the whole marketing from the tourism standpoint. You know, it was real something to really behold, and you'd want to rush to go there.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of vibe is appealing to people.
And one of the things too, Dice, I think, I know one year, I don't remember the year we did it, but it's not something we do often either. When you visit Anguilla and you come to the ports, there should be costumes
Yes,
and
yes,
all those things
yes,
displayed,
yes.
Steel band
highlighted
playing
in
and stuff
steel
like that.
band. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that's coming though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about it.
You're saying, Petra?
over the years we have lost a lot of nice costumes. I would even say within even the tiny tots, the creative cultural wear, they produce such lovely outfits, but it would have been good if we had some place where we could actually turn in these,
Like my office.
you
So you can
know.
put everything
The archives,
in
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, persons some would ask, but there's nothing. You know.
I always thought that you know, like even some of those, well, calypso and bands is normally my thing, you know. And
Yeah.
Splinters and Springers and those guys have a lot
Yes.
of old crowns. I don't think they have
But
all
to
in
have
home.
them displayed.
I'm sure that people in
somewhere.
Raycraft have some of their stuff
Yes.
somewhere. And the same thing with our troop in South Hill.
Be
And all those
nice.
other troops, even one at least to put some
Yes.
players and stuff like that, you
Yes,
know. And,
yes.
and
I would love
at
to
least,
see
like
that.
5 excess room match troopers.
see, I mean, that's good. Even a picture of them, you know, something.
Maybe it wouldn't be nice to have a room up here.
But you know, again, it comes back to Carl, our conversation in terms of
There's a room for that.
rewriting the
It
history,
is
but rewriting it
important.
wrongly,
Yeah.
and names gonna be missing
Yeah.
because we did not do the proper research and talk to the right people.
I'm gonna say one, and I'm gonna just leave it right there where it is.
Yeah.
The first national carnival queen is in George Hill.
Hazel Daniel.
Pansy.
Yes.
No, he said the national name.
National.
National.
Hazel
National, he
Daniel. It's a
said.
different vibe.
And I was, I mean, I heard yesterday about, and that's nice, Flo, Alex. You used to work there, Kevin Wireless.
Yeah,
If
25
you remember,
years.
her float was actually an
Yeah, they came once, yeah.
the old phone. What nice, what thing we can bring if we reproduce that for the parade of troops, that would go a long way for float and for carnival.
I'm sure that maybe somebody should reach out to her if they have not done, because I'm sure knowing Hazel, she will have pictures, and Betty at East End.
Correct.
I hope that they reach out to these people because
Yeah.
these people can talk about the experience, and I'm sure they have pictures.
Really
They might be
hard.
It would
Polaroid,
have been
but you know.
nice. I
I
mean,
think we can have them on
you-
our show.
it would be nice,
Um,
guys. It would be nice to have because some of the
Carl, let's leave that.
yeah.
I wish after the fact.
We reached that point now where we talk a good bit about the future of Summer Festival and the culture, really. What your perspectives are. Now I give you a chance to really talk to the residents of Angola and returning visitors. What the expectations of the talented teen and the Trinidad, and you got a chance to market your show here now on behalf of Changes Restaurant.
Okay. This year is big for Angola, and I wish that we could really give our visitors something to come back home to see a big celebration on our 50th. We are a part of it, as in Miss Tiny Tot pageant. I'm just going to speak on this end. So what we have done, as I said before, we went back from the past to bring those contestants now to celebrate in with the Angola Summer Festival, which we appreciate the Angola Summer Festival Committee bringing us on board this year. I would like to say a special thanks for all those who were able to participate in this year's pageant. I know you are not Tiny Tots anymore, but you look at me as if I'm Mama Bear still, and I really appreciate you coming. Some of you are coming from overseas, some of you are here, some of you have called and said you may not be on stage, but you're going to be here to represent. I would like to say special thanks to you guys. For all the sponsors who have supported us over the years, I want to say thank you. The list is long.
I guess you'll have
So-
time to do a roll call and do your name of your sponsors over the year.
Yes, we will do that. Yes. To all the businesses, we have had businesses from underneath the tamarind tree who have supported us until this date. We have had judges who was under the tamarind tree who still a judge to this date.
Really nice.
Anyone comes on board Tiny Tot, it's very hard for them to leave. Even our team members, they leave the island and they want to do from overseas. We became one big family, as in the Miss Tiny Tot pageant family, and I feel good to know that the support is always there. Where we may be down and maybe getting sponsorship and big funding, but we do make it happen. For all the children that participate, we try to make them feel equal. So all of them go home with their hands full. And I'm sure everyone here have seen that in the Carnival Village. They are well supported at the end of the show with prizes awarded and so forth. So for everyone involved in Angola Summer Festival at 50 to make it great, I would like to say thank you, and we thank you for bringing us a part of that as well.
You repeat your team one more time?
Festive Thoughts, past and present. We're celebrating Angola Summer Festival at 50 with culture and beauty.
See, you know you don't get head now?
Ah,
Man.
it's a lot you want to say, but
You
you.
I
Both
too would,
places.
yeah, I too would like to, thank all the businesses and the persons who have supported the talented teen over the years. It's because of you the pageant has been a success. I would also like to thank the parents and guardians and chaperones of the
Yes.
contestants who
I miss
volunteer their time. Because this can be a very thankless job, to ensure the contestants are prepared. I want to thank the contestants themselves for coming forward and participating, because a lot of times, we criticize the young people, when they are doing wrong and stuff, but this is a positive venture that they are involved in, and we need to continue to encourage and support them, because these are the future leaders of tomorrow. So we need to support them today. And I also want to thank the Angular community as large for their support over the years. And what was really intriguing to me is that I did not know how much the Anguillans appreciated what we do this until this year,
Okay.
when our names were calling a lot on the radio station.
Okay.
You calling myself, and I was like, wow, I really didn't know that, so
Yeah.
I really thank the Anguillan public for their support over the years, and we look forward to having a great Carnival 50, a successful talented teen pageant, and I actually wish all the organizers of events success, because at the end of the day, this is the Anguilla Carnival, and it's up to us to make it happen and produce one of the better carnivals that we have had over the years.
Yeah.
And to you now, Woodland?
Yeah, I want to go a little different. I want to really thank all the persons, past and present. Some alive with us, some have the past gone on, but we can't leave here without thanking everybody, because it's those along with us who are part of this whole 50. We celebrating today what they started.
That's
I
true.
can't leave from here also without making mention of a lot of people, but I want to especially single out Stanley Carty. I see this year he has passed, but I see the Mako Jumbies. There's an effort
Right.
to bring the Mako Jumbies back, and for them, I truly I'm happy that that is happening.
Right.
Calvin Hughes, the Majorettes,
Yes.
for 20 something years. Yeah,
He'll be on the
and-
show soon.
Correct, and the maintenance, both of them in the village. Who could forget Muttle?
Yes.
How
that's
sweet it
true.
is.
Yes.
How sweet
Yes,
it is,
and how
yeah.
much people could remember the John, not Johnny Cakes, did you say patties right along here? Yeah. So those persons, and for those persons, you want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the persons who are responsible for giving us a new state of the art
Yes.
cultural center. Thank you to the government for the initial, trying to get it. Not trying, because it will be
It's
finished.
almost there.
But it's painting now, and I look forward to having shows. I know Petra and Romy, we are down here. We are not really up there with
Always,
the
we're not
boots, but
right.
we're down here. Somebody
Down
said to me,
here.
I ain't gonna see you sitting on the
No.
thing anymore. You understand? But I'm glad. I'm really glad for this, and
I'm happy.
I'm looking forward and anticipating a good 50. Yeah.
Same as me.
There's some work that needs to be done, whether now or in the future. But Carnival will be, the success of Carnival will be what we put
Yes.
in. Yeah. So I'm gonna do my due. I have Calypsonians working with, troops working with, talented teen. So my plate is full.
Yes.
Yeah. My plate
Takes
is
a lot
full.
out of.
But again, I want to wish
Lot of
everybody a
preparation.
safe and happy Carnival, and whatever differences you have, keep them, please.
Yes.
Because we are on the stage, the international stage, and we intend to make this one of the best.
Yes.
You're working with no soca artists, is it?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm in the skit. I'm in the studio tonight with one coming in from Miami. Well, she should be here. Yeah.
But I also, for me, I'm never finishing here. I really want to say thank you to the Angola Summer Festival Committee for bringing us on board this year to join in with Carnival. We were always listed as pre-Carnival event, but I really appreciate you putting us on board. Ivan, I would like to say thank you, and to Deanne Kintish, who has helped us out of a situation. I want to say thank you to you and your team. Thank you very much.
The two of you, I can't leave from here without saying
And
thanks.
thank
This
you
is
guys.
good. Thank you. Thanks for changes.
We appreciate.
You're doing our part.
But before I say thank you and we wrap up, Carl and Romy, Patrick didn't work alongside you really, because as you just mentioned, you was a pre-event for
Yes.
Carnival.
But
But these two guys, I worked with them for years, and it's always a delight to be in their company. And I don't want to get emotional on viewing here, but these guys mean a lot to me in terms of Carnival. I mean, whenever the bell ring, they are there, and they're
Right.
full of ideas.
yes.
And and when I was delighted when we took the time out to see who we're gonna bring for this show, that we chose it carefully, and it was a fitting time to really
I think
sit.
so.
Yeah, it was a fitting time. And I want to thank you all for accepting the invitation to come, and I'm looking forward to a great performance at Talented Teen.
Sure.
And
Tiny
I have never
Tots.
been to Tiny Tots. I
We
must admit,
celebrated.
I would have to attend Petra being that you readily accept. I'm gonna make an
Yes.
effort to come to your show, but I'm always in your corner.
I can't
Yes.
leave also without telling you congratulations on your award during Anguilla Day. I mean,
Appreciate
yes,
it.
both
yes,
of me, we were there
congrats.
standing up,
Yeah.
and we were like,
Congrats.
yeah.
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 So congratulations on
You
that. Yes,
maybe
that's-
Romy is next
Hey,
year.
Carl have already received an award from Tiny Tots, and I think he said that was the only award he have received so far.
It's okay
Yeah.
because I give my time. I give
Yes.
my time, and you have to be passionate. You know, you have to understand some of the things I said might get over to the wrong ears, but because I have the passion
Yes.
for culture, and not just here,
Right.
in St. Thomas, St. Kitts, everywhere. You know that I've gone to, I've been a state. I was able to share with the communities. So when I speak
Yes.
passionately.
Right.
And we people, you know,
Yeah.
very young people,
Yes.
and we are committed to it. Really, I mean, like
Really.
whenever the bell ring, you guys is there, pageantry, Carl is there, and you. How much years you doing this?
Long.
I mean, it's like
Long, 9 years added to 23.
that's half your age.
Yes.
You know?
So it's a long way.
Yeah, started as a teenager.
Yes.
Mark, your last words.
Carnival gonna be great for 50. Come out and support all the shows, and everybody have a great time.
Thank you.
I want to say it again. Thank you to you all. And before I forget, I have to mention the thank you as well because I tend
Thank
to forget
you.
you. But you know me and you, we go way back, brother. You know, and you can say what you have to say now. Viewers, we're gonna have a little word from
Want
Lloyd.
me to leave?
Thank you, Patro,
Thank
Romy,
you.
and Carl.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love.
Thanks, man.
Love.
Okay,
love
okay,
all the time.
okay.
Thanks, Dice.
And
Alright, that's
I might do
We'll
that,
reach out to
I
you
might still
again.
do that song for you all.
Okay,
I
good.
might do the song for you all.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Okay, good. Lai, you gonna come in now?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, folks. I just want to say that just recently
Whoa. She thought the program was done.
I was in New York doing a live for Apney, and I want to thank the staff and the crew for Apney. I want to thank Carlson and Annie Connor, Godwin Carter, Papa Juni, Ray Allen, Seymour Hodge, Yvette, Don, and the rest of you guys, Seki, and all of you who made that event a spectacular event. I noticed that this year there were quite a number of Anguillians who left Anguilla, not Anguillians living in the US, but Anguillians who left Anguilla and went up especially for this event. Again, thanks to Apney for having me there. It was a real treat. It was a good experience. I know that there's always room for improvement. So again, on behalf of myself and Lloyd's Live and our crew, we want to say thank you guys for having us in New York for the Apney Anguilla Day celebration. Thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you viewing on Lloyd's Live and Changes page. Next week we'll be commencing our weekly sessions, and during the week you will see exactly who the person who will be interviewed. Thank you for viewing.
And
God bless.
looking forward to see y'all for 50.
See you at Changes.
Changes.